Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the drama around MrBeast simply does not stop. Well, because after all of the crazy summer stuff that was going on and all the fallout he had from one of the people that was currently was formerly employed by his company, and there was a lot of, well, let's just say heinous accusations put out there in the public eye, and of course was immediately dismissed. But, well, there's a lot of evidence going with on a lot of that kind of stuff as far as who knew and everything else. And well, it's been kind of silent and kind of mum on all of that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out the drama is not over, as was reported in the New York Times. There was a big expose over the MrBeast games and all the insanity that was going on behind the scenes over there. And well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. MrBeast and Amazon are being sued over what happened with the upcoming MrBeast games, and it is absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got an article over here from our dear sweet Deadline, as well as IGN, highlighting some of the different aspects of this whole court case, talking about some of the stuff out there and what Amazon and MrBeast's response has been thus far. Needless to say, it's rather lacking at this point, and this is absolutely nuts. So buckle in, boys and girls. This is going to be a little bit of a long one. There's a lot of stuff to go over here, but I promise you it is worth every second of your time, because this information is insane, and some of the allegations in here are extremely spicy, absolutely mind-boggling, and some of this stuff, if it's all ends up being proven true in a court of law, is going to be absolutely nuts and could probably bring down MrBeast's entire corporation and definitely end up having some major repercussions for someone even as big as Amazon, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to check out this article and get into all of the juicy details. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing it, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Does it surprise you at all that such a major corporation, such a major conglomerate that is really what MrBeast is at this point, has all of these kind of crazy things going on and a bunch of shady stuff going on? Or are you one of those out there that believes probably MrBeast doesn't actually know anything about all this kind of stuff and he was just there to have fun and be ridiculous? Either way, let us know what you think about all that down below, and also it does help with the algorithm. So MrBeast and Amazon hit with harassment, wages, and Nevada tax credits scamming class action suit by game show contestants. Yes, boys and girls, this is going to get spicy. It's been a hell of a summer for MrBeast. That's a nice way to put it. And things don't seem to be looking up now, with a potential class action lawsuit filed against the YouTuber superstar and Amazon by contestants from the upcoming series MrBeast Games. As the anonymous contestant 5 states in the heavily redacted complaint seen a jury trial, I expected to be challenged, but I didn't think I would be treated like nothing. Less than nothing. And that's the exact same thing that the IGN headline over here article highlights as well. MrBeast and Amazon Studios claim contestant alleging harassment, chronic mistreatment, and more. Possibly running into the millions in damages if certified, the September 16th filing in Los Angeles Superior Court alleges that MrBeast and the Jeff Bezos-created streamer subjected the contestants to unreasonable, unsafe, and unlawful employment conditions, with claims of harassment, failure to prevent harassment, false advertising, and failure to pay minimum wages or overtime. These conditions saw several contestants hospitalized. The 54-page document alleges hospitalized, ladies and gentlemen, and that is absolutely insane. Perhaps most damaging corporately to MrBeast and Amazon is the allegation that the supposedly $100 million budgeted Beast Games production played fast and loose with the rules to secure Nevada tax credits. The filing says Beast Games made plaintiffs and proposed class to enter into illegal contracts providing false information to the state of Nevada to obtain unearned tax credits, supposedly misclassifying contestants like the 5 plaintiffs as Nevada citizens, and otherwise the far from scant MrBeast and Amazon were able to snag $2.2 million in incentives from the Silver State. That is absolutely insane. If that is proven true, trust me, Nevada is going to come down hard on them and probably bring up their own charges, because they don't play with the tax code, boys and girls. That is one thing that will destroy you without leaving a single mark on your body, and this could end up happening to MrBeast as well. So based on his already successful show, the brings games bragging to be the biggest reality competition series, over 1,000 contestants, yada, 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 don't really care. So, So yeah, a hit written all over it. Sure, but with all the hoopla and with a $5 million payout, Mr. Game's competition show was announced back in March. You'd think MrBeast and Amazon would want to put their best face forward on these allegations. Even more so, being that the most of what the suit asserts has been made public last month in the New York Times. We talked about that. You'd think MrBeast and Amazon would be ready with some sort of response. Alas, no. Neither representatives for influencer-born Jimmy Dolson nor Amazon respond to a request from Deadline for comment on the complaint. If and when they do, this post will be updated. Neither of these have been updated, neither IGN's nor Deadline's at the time of this recording. And this is where things kind of get really interesting. This is one of the reasons why I want to jump over to the IGN article, because this is some of the stuff, because a lot of these allegations come from female participants, right? So according to the lawsuits, participants were not paid properly, experienced emotional distress, did not receive uninterrupted meal breaks or rest breaks, and deprived them of medical care, food, and sleep, and the necessities of basic hygiene. Female participants were allegedly subject to a hostile work environment. This is one of the things, that hostile work environment seems the very interesting part of that, because there is actually a book that these ladies were given on how to operate on a MrBeast contest out there, on how to treat the boys and how to act around one of these things here. So several contestants ended up hospitalized, while others reported suffering physical and mental complications while being subjected to chronic mistreatment, degradation. For the female contestants, a hostile working condition. There's even talk in there about the fact that a lot of them ended up not being able to get their medications properly and all kinds of crazy stuff. But this is where I think things get really spicy. The lawyer said the suit also seeks to establish a pattern of harassment, citing an alleged employee handbook called out How to Succeed in MrBeast Productions. Literally an employee handbook. And if they've still got a copy of that and can publish this, holy cow. I'd imagine this will probably come out in the lawsuit. It allegedly states, if talent wants to draw a dick on the whiteboard in the video or do something stupid, let them. Really do everything you can to empower the boys when filming and help them make content. Help them be idiots. Color us shocked on this one, boys and girls. Literally, let the boys be as dumb as they can on screen. Let them draw all kinds of inappropriate images all over things just for a laugh. Now, personally, as a guy that does find doing stuff like this absolutely hilarious, but for the kind of image that MrBeast promotes and puts out there, right? And then to bring people into a quote unquote professional production from a company like Amazon, who has a massive HR department. How this did not throw up any red flags boggles my mind, except the fact that they knew about it and were going to allow it anyway. This is absolutely nuts. Supposedly they were supposed to be compensated, all of this other kind of stuff that they were supposed to do as well. They were supposed to get a $1,000 compensation prize even if they didn't win, but this was allegedly taken from them once contestants had moved backstage. Production crew promised the proper prize would arrive later, but the contestants said they had not received it in roughly 1 month since. Several contestants told the New York Times they had since been contacted by production staff and offered the $1,000. However, oh yes, after you got exposed, after you know all of this went viral, now all of a sudden you want to make good on your promise. Yeah, that's not going to pan out as well. So eliminated contestant Jenny Reedy said she received a hard-boiled egg, 2 slices of cucumber, and basically 1/3 stick of a celery that was also cut into thirds, 2 carrot sticks, and a 1/4 cup of plain oatmeal for one meal. Really? Really? Like most, think about the Hollywood studios out there, right? They have these buffet boards, right? Like most of their catering costs more than most of us spend and make salary-wise in a year, just for like a week of production. And this is how they were handing out meals on this? Holy cow. Water was not readily available. Contestants were given drinks from water and iced tea brand Liquid Death to drink, and MrBeast snack Feastables to eat on camera for sponsored content. Contestants already were sleeping in backs on the turf in the middle of the stadium where the production took place. That's okay. But I mean, where's the other one here? The medication stuff. Well, this one is crazy. Listen to this right here. Another game saw a rope get tangled around someone's neck, according to both Reedy and the anonymous contestant. But production was yelling at the people that were behind the ones that fell to keep pulling. To keep pulling. Ladies and gentlemen, that is insane. Like, you literally could have killed someone in no time flat by that. There literally were no adults in the room for this kind of nonsense. Color us shocked there. The affirmation report from the New York Times corroborated several details and told similar stories of alleged mistreatment. Participants had their medication taken from them ahead of production. They took your drugs from you that you needed to live. Now, given if you're going to participate in something where you're going to end up getting wet or getting messed up, where your medication can be lost or damaged, completely understandable. But here's the problem with that as well. For example, but several said they did not receive it on time, including one who needed insulin. Participants instead received their medication hours or days after their scheduled dosing times. That is insane. As a person with friends and family members that have this kind of stuff, insulin, medications they have to take on a regular basis, this is absolutely nuts. This is absolutely insane. Boys and girls, obviously innocent until proven guilty. But just the fact that some of these people said that after the New York Times expose, they actually went out there and now all of a sudden offered to pay them the money that they had been promised to begin with just for participating in this kind of thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can love MrBeast all you want. I don't care. I don't care what side you're on. The fact that there is sides is stupid to begin with, because the only side that really matters is the truth. And that's what needs to come out with this. That's why this needs to be adjudicated in a court of law properly before a jury of their peers and have this settled. Both sides need to present their evidence and see how things work out, because that's how our system works. Innocent until proven guilty indeed. But there's a lot of evidence out there right now making them look very, very guilty. And that includes MrBeast, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, he is the face of all of this. You're the guy at the top, buddy boy, which means at the end of the day, everything that happens below you, just like if you were a colonel or a general in the military or a supervisor or a CEO or an executive, because that's what you are. You're the executive. You're the CEO of this whole damn thing. And at the end of the day, that means the buck stops with you, Jimmy. The buck stops with you. If you heard about this, if you saw this stuff going on and didn't immediately put a stop to it, then guess what? You're just as responsible and culpable as everyone else involved in your organization. You're the guy at the top. So be a man, stand up, say something, put out a statement about this. And if you did screw up, apologize, pay these people their money, and make sure nothing like this ever happens again. But I'd imagine because of the kind of system that we've seen around you in the past, when all the drama came out over the summer with your former employee, it's going to be mum. There's not going to be a redemption arc. You're not going to apologize. This is all going to be tried to swept under the rug. And everybody involved in the class action lawsuit is going to sign a bunch of big fat NDAs to where they can never speak it again. And MrBeast will just go on producing content for YouTube and Amazon and everybody else like nothing happened. But guess what? We don't live in those times anymore. We live in a time where information is free and free speech is being made great again. And there's a lot of people out there that remember this. MrBeast videos are getting ratioed on a pretty regular basis. And then you go look at the comment section and it's real strange how it's all positive, even though the videos aren't doing so well anymore. This kind of stuff will permeate throughout the culture, and this will blow up in MrBeast's face. And guess what, Jimmy? At the end of the day, you get exactly what you deserve. When you're in charge, the buck stops with you.